Next two questions are looking at masks a little bit more. So this is again one that has come up among parents quite often. And the question is, do masks prevent young children from developing their immune system against COVID naturally? And I guess in another step of that question, are masks kind of infringing a little bit on children's ability to develop natural immunity to all the things they come into contact with at school? Let's go to Ayisha first for this one.
So, if we look at last year's experience, we definitely saw that as mask use was part of our plan, masks, distancing, hand hygiene, I'll put them all there, we did see that there were less kids getting sick with viruses, right? Because they are protected from getting them. So yes, it kind of helps you. It helps you prevent you from getting sick with the virus. I think that's a good thing because it helps to make sure they're not going to get sick. I know there's lots of different things about masks and, we are stopping them from getting other viruses. I think right now that's good. There are some places in the States, for example, where when mask use kind of went away, then some of the other viruses started to creep up, and now you've got these kids that weren't sick all year getting more sick. So it's something that has happened. But I think knowing that we still have COVID out there and we know that they don't have the vaccine to protect them, I still think it's the safest thing to do. And again, risk benefit, I think protecting them from COVID with masks and things is a good thing. I don't know if anyone else has anything to add there.
I think the risk benefit, just as you said, Ayisha, is the key thing there. And a couple of other things too. I don't think the mask wearing is a permanent state of affairs. It's very temporary. And I think it is basically until we drive down this COVID-19. And so I think in the development of a child's life, from birth through the early years into school transition, there is something called hygiene hypothesis, particularly relating to asthma, atopy, and so on, which basically says that that kind of priming your immune system by what you're exposed to, perhaps in a farm, if you're living in a farm, has been associated with lesser incidence of asthma in kids. So that is a hygiene hypothesis, somehow actually kind of primes your immunity to develop and so on. But we are not really talking about that kind of situation here. We are talking, but first, older kids. Secondly, we are talking about a fairly temporary situation. And thirdly, I'm trying to think of a link between mask wearing and immune development in an 11, 12-year-old. Maybe somebody else knows that, what is the mechanism of actually kind of immune suppression because you've worn a mask for several months, and I just don't see that in older kids.